Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Thera Vanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Vraja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Thera Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitya Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Reading from HG Caitanya Caritamrita. Adi-lila, chapter 14, text 18. The chapter is called Lord Chaitanya's Childhood Pastimes. Mahotsavakara Sabha Bolaha Brahmana Ajidina Bhala Kariba Namakarana Mahotsavakara Sabha Bola Brahmana Ajidina Bhala Kariba Namakarana Mahotsavakara Sabha Bolaha Brahmana Ajidina Bhala Kariba Namakarana Mahotsava, a festival. Kara, observe. Sabha, all. Bolaha, call. Brahmana, the Brahmanas. Aji, today. Dina, day. Bhala, auspicious. Kariba, I shall perform. Namakarana, the name-giving ceremony. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. I propose to perform a name-giving ceremony. We should observe a festival and call for the Brahmanas, because today is very auspicious. Please repeat. I propose to perform a name-giving ceremony. We should observe a festival and call for the Brahmanas, because today is very auspicious. Purport. It is the Vedic principle to observe a festival in connection with Narayana and Brahmanas. Giving a child a particular name is among the purificatory processes, which are known as Dasha Vidha Samskara. And on the day of such ceremony, one should observe a festival by worshipping Narayana and distributing prasadam, chiefly among the Brahmanas. When Nilambara Chakravarti, Sachi Mata and Jagannath Mishra, recognizing the marks on the Lord's lotus feet, understood that the child Nimai was not an ordinary child, but an incarnation of Narayan. They decided that on that very same day, which was very auspicious, they should observe a festival for his name-giving ceremony. In this connection, we can particularly see how an incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is ascertained by his bodily symptoms, his activities, and the prediction of the Shastras. By factual evidence, a person can be accepted as an incarnation of God, not whimsically or by votes of rascals and fools. There have been many imitation incarnations in Bengal since the appearance of Lord Caitanya, but any impartial devotee or learned man can understand that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was accepted as an incarnation of Krishna, not on the basis of popular votes, but by evidence from the Shastras and bona fide scholars. It was not ordinary men who accepted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the beginning, his identity was ascertained by learned scholars like Nilambara Chakravarti. And later, all his activities were confirmed by the 6 Goswamis, especially Srila Jiva Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami, and many other learned scholars, with evidence from the Shastra. An incarnation of God is such from the very beginning of his life. It is not that by performing meditation one can become an incarnation of God all of a sudden. Such false incarnations are meant for fools and rascals, not sane men. I'll read the verse again. I propose to perform a name-giving ceremony. We should observe a festival and call for the brahmanas, because today is very auspicious. So we continue the chapter. So this is Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastimes. A very, very sweet chapter. I call it very sweet, nectarian, because the pastimes and interactions around Nimai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, was so similar to Vrajabhumi, the residents of Vrindavan. Everyone loved Krishna. Similarly, everyone loved Nimai. He was not named at that time, but everyone had that natural affection. And as he appeared under the neem tree, naturally, instinctively they called him Nimai as a nickname. And later on he got his proper name, initiated name. Nilambara Chakravarti was a great scholar and great Jyotish expert. He knew all the Shastras, Parashara Muni Shastras, Bhrigu Muni Shastras. He was very expert analyzing the markings, even the bodily limbs of Mahaprabhu. And just like we were discussing last week, that Garuda Purana clearly describes not just about the avatars, but even a civilized human being, his body language, his proportions, his facial proportions, the eyes, the palms, everything, the way they walk, you can tell whether the person is actually a man of knowledge or man of ignorance. Amazing. Garuda Purana is very descriptive. So much details about the human body, psychophysiological kind of disposition. But in the case of Mahaprabhu, not to speak of Krishna himself, when Garga Muni was there, he and the family guru, he also checked Krishna's chart. It is a tradition, especially in India, that they check the charts just to see the auspiciousness or the journey of the soul in this life. And when Nilambara Chakravarti saw the palms of Nimai, the little Nimai, and his footprints, all the auspicious markings, the lotus, the cows, the swastika sign, amazing. There's so many. Actually, he's got 16 different markings on the right foot, and the other one's about similar, 15 or 16 also. On his palm, because each palm, left and right hands, they have different markings. Amazing. And of course, there's a whole description on it. Srila Prabhupada touches this in different purports as you read on the chapter. But actually there's more description in Caitanya Bhagavata, Vrindavan Das Thakur, and many other acharyas, of course, they're describing these markings and their meanings and what they actually mean to us and what about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So as we read Srila Prabhupada's purport here, that when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears, everything is auspicious about him. It cannot be speculated on. All the Shastras, the injunctions of the Shastras, all the predictions of the Shastras, the Puranas, the Mahapuranas, Srimad Bhagavatam, they all predicted this Gaura Sundara, the golden avatar for this age of Kali. A most complete, the most powerful, the most confidential form. Radha and Krishna in one body, which is extraordinary and difficult to conceive. It's inconceivable for us how it can be two personalities in one body. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very beautiful form, even from the childhood. Everyone was astonished, just like when Krishna appeared in Brajabhumi, Mathura and Vrindavan, and at Nanda Maharaj, Nandagram. Everyone just loved Krishna so much. They all gathered around Krishna. They were spoiling Krishna. See? Krishna likes to be spoiled. And everyone was bringing gifts to Krishna. Everyone wanted to hug Krishna, and all the village girls coming, the mothers, everyone's coming. The cows, the calves, they're all coming to Krishna. Krishna was the main attraction. A very sweet attraction, especially in that childhood, in a baby form, even before the later stages like Damodar, and the different names for different stages of his growth and his apparent physical manifestation. Same with Mahaprabhu. He had so many different names, nicknames, but commonly known Nimai, because he was born under the Nim tree. So they invited the scholar, the Pandit, Nilambara Chakravarti, who was a very famous amongst all the acharyas anyway, just like Narottama Das Thakur and many other great scholars, poets. But Chakravarti was so expert in Jyotish Shastra. He could see the cosmic sky and the auspiciousness, the alignments, full moon, Gora Purnima. Why we call Gora Purnima? Because Mahaprabhu appeared under that auspiciousness. And there's so much so that even to the present day, Gaudiya Vaishnava Pandits, who actually understand astrology, they're still studying it, analyzing the cosmic sky exactly when Mahaprabhu appeared. They know the Muhurta exactly to the second when Mahaprabhu appeared in this world in Mayapur. Yogapith, called Yogapith, which is a holy site where Mahaprabhu appeared. And so they're still fascinated and amazed how auspicious the cosmic sky, everything, the stars, everything aligned. The Muhurta was very auspicious. Just like in the morning we have Brahma Muhurta. Very, very auspicious. One of the most auspicious times of the day. Very important that we rise early and focus our minds and hearts on the holy vibration, the holy names of Krishna, because this is when we have the easiest access to that transcendental divine names of Krishna. Krishna is transcendental, but we may not be throughout the day because we get affected by the, like in Ayurveda Shastra also says, throughout the day, as the time goes, as the muhurta goes, certain planets have a stronger influence, graha, the transits. Just like today, Saturday. So as the sun is rising, there's another planet is rising also called Saturn. That's what we call Saturday. Tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. Tuesday is Mars. Wednesday is Mercury. Thursday is Jupiter. Friday is Venus. So they have the rising planets and they have the early transits. And some are very, very inauspicious. Thursday afternoon we have Barbela, Mars, Saturn, Rahu, Kalam at the same time. Very inauspicious. Srila Prabhupada and Bhaktisiddhanta especially, he cancelled trips like traveling or major decision making. Srila Prabhupada often was very cautiously traveling in that particular muhurta, Thursday afternoon. So, but when Mahaprabhu appeared, everything was so auspicious. Even more so than Brahma Muhurta. Amazing. So Nilambara Chakravarti was, wow, this is amazing. He could see not only the bodily markings and the footprints and the palm, but just the cosmic sky, everything so aligned. It's even Jyotish Shastra, it could never been before. It's only a mathematical concept and everything's perfect, see? But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everything, and Krishna of course, Garga Muni checked, oh wow, this is amazing. Everything is just perfect. And when such muhurta, such auspicious time, the whole world, the free world, the middle, the lower, the high, everything was blessed by Mahaprabhu's appearance. Not just on this earthly plane, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed the whole universe just by his presence. Of course, we are very fortunate in Bharatvash. That is why the Shastras glorifying this region of the universe, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna himself also, chosen this region, Varsha, to appear and perform his lila, divine lilas, time to time. As we know, the Vedic cosmology, our universe, Brahmanda, which is an egg shape, and we had Mount Meru as the axis of the universe, and all the planetary systems in the lotus petal, like a lotus flower, and the Mount Meru is like a hurl, higher, lower in dimensions. They don't have that fortune what we have on this Bharatvash, which is part of Jambudvip, just a tiny portion of Jambudvip, and there's 9 islands, and we call Bhumi Devi, Mother Earth, is one of the islands, Dvipas, cosmic islands, of course. So, and where all these beautiful pastimes, what we call Bharatvash, also comes down to India, Himalayas, all the beautiful holy places. India is full of holy places. So if we are very fortunate, we can visit the most prominent ones, and especially in our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, we visit Mahaprabhu's pastimes, Krishna's pastimes. But even if you just searching for the holy places, India is full of it, everywhere. Hundreds of thousands of temples. Apart from the demigod temples, but mainly Narayan, Krishna, Ram, Sitaram, and Mahaprabhu's temples. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a visit to on the way to Tirumala and many other holy places, he visited even the demigods' temples, Lord Shiva's, in all these places, and he offered obeisances, acknowledging that they are great devotees, celestial devotees of Lord Narayan, Lord Krishna himself. So he could see the devotee in these personalities. Because the demigods, the devas, are great devotees. They're in that high position. They trusted administration. So they're under the control of Parama Ishvara, Krishna himself. And they have their own jurisdictions and functions. And they're very, very responsible personalities. They have to align themselves with the will of the Supreme, Parama Ishvara. See, he is the Supreme Controller. So when Mahaprabhu appeared, everything, all his bodily symptoms, like I said about the palm and the footprint, so many different markings, 60 marks on each palm. And then his beautiful eyes, lotus eyes, beautiful. And if you look at the paintings of Mahaprabhu, it's so attractive. Golden hue, Gora Sundara, beautiful. I mean, look at beautiful deities we have. Caitanya Mahaprabhu, amazing. Nityananda Prabhu. It's one of the most beautiful Gonita I ever seen. I mean, I visited many temples, Vrindavan and this one, one of the most beautiful. We are blessed, Caitanya Mahaprabhu, giving us a chance. Here we are in the association of devotees, hear about their glories. And when we glorify Mahaprabhu, he is very pleased. Very easy to please Mahaprabhu. To please Krishna, not that easy. Nityananda Prabhu and Caitanya Mahaprabhu, very easy. Most of us is a great Acharya, Mahabhagavata. Then we recognize the Mahajanas. They all confirm Mahaprabhu's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not just the conclusion of ordinary men, as Srila Prabhupada says here, but the conclusion of great scholars, great devotees, and the Goswamis, and the Acharyas coming down, Narottama Das Thakur, all coming down to the great, great personalities, to Srila Prabhupada and his mission and his representatives, because of course Prabhupada's line continues. All the representations are there. It's a blessed sampradaya. This is not an ordinary sampradaya. This is an extraordinary sampradaya. Because Caitanya Mahaprabhu chosen Brahma Madhvacharya sampradaya. And so we call it Brahma Madhva Gaudiya sampradaya. And of course, within the Gaudiya sampradaya, we have many families. We respect them all. We don't discriminate, okay? We're all different spiritual masters. But we are very fortunate because Srila Prabhupada gave us a very authentic process. So we should hang on to this family. Because we are grateful. We should be grateful, and we are eternally adapted to our spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, and the Vaishnavas themselves, because we are together in a family of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And there are other families too. Let's say Gaudiya Math or other families we respect, because they're devotees, they're sadhakas, we respect them, so family. But this is our Gotra, Prabhupada's family. So we take shelter of Srila Prabhupada. There's no need to go anywhere. Everything's here. The mercy is here, the beautiful deities are here, the Shastras are here, the devotees are here, sincerity is here. So we should be grateful to each other and not to speak of Srila Prabhupada. So the great Acharyas confirming Krishna's, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On the other hand, as Prabhupada says in the purport, there are so many fake avatars. Very easy to spot them nowadays, so many so-called avatars, especially nowadays because of the internet. This guru, that guru, Sadguru, this guru. They obviously Mayavada, so obvious. Just their name, even the body language, Mayavada. Nothing to do with transcendental authenticity or Guru, disciple, Sri Parampara system, where we get authentic knowledge from a bona fide spiritual master. It's not a speculative thing that we concoct an idea, okay, Caitanya Mahaprabhu is the avatar now. No. It is authorized by the Shastras, authorized by the Mahajanas, all predicted in many, many Shastras, not just in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Shastras, but even in the classics. If you actually look into Yajurveda, if you look into other sections of the Vedas, the 4 sections of the Vedas, they're already predicting, foretelling that there will be a golden Vishnu, golden Narayan. Even the Sri Vaishnava Pandits, as they study Yajurveda, they admitted that there is a special avatar. The scripture does not indicate as Caitanya Mahaprabhu, because it's a Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, but they indicate it as golden Narayan, golden Vishnu. Because when Srila Prabhupada came to the West, even before Srila Prabhupada, like when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to visit Tirumala, he used to catch a train from Puri down south, Srirangam, Tirumala, and met the acharyas of the Sampradaya. And we were discussing about Mahaprabhu. And they, of course, philosophically, there's no difference because Krishna, Lord Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in essence, there's no difference. The discipline is different shastras, but ultimately we are devotees of God, so there's no difference in that. But just some technicalities, and Bhaktisiddhanta wanted to establish Mahaprabhu's superior position in this Kali Yuga. And the Acharya of the time, by the way, this is actually documented. There are many essays on this and articles. If you look into Bhaktisiddhanta's journey in South India, the great Acharya of that Sampradaya of the time, he agreed. There is a prediction in Yajurveda, they call it Golden Vishnu. Obviously it refers to Mahaprabhu in our perspective. So all the great Acharyas, even in other Sampradayas, not to speak of in our Parampara Sampradaya, they're already predicting that Mahaprabhu is directly Krishna. He's not even an avatari. He is the actual Sri Krishna Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu. These words are very powerful. You can meditate on these words. Mahaprabhu, Caitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Gaura Sundara. He's got so many beautiful names. So when we visit these sites, holy sites in Gaura Mandala Bhumi, anything around Mayapur, all the villages, islands, even going right up to Orissa, see all these beautiful temples where Madhavendra Puri also passed through. Many stories. And then right up to Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu spent about 24 years, am I right? 24 years in Puri. And he had a very, very confidential pastimes there. Very, very deep. This is when Damodar Pandit and many, many other great personalities around him, Ramananda Rai, very, very close to him. And of course, sometimes other devotees from Vrindavan coming visiting him. And that's what happened. Madhavendra Puri also came. And of course there's a lot of pastimes there because Madhavendra Puri appeared before Mahaprabhu's advent. He was preparing the scene, Ishvara Puri, then Caitanya Mahaprabhu and the Goswamis, everything kind of manifesting gradually. The entire entourage, all the confidential associates, just like when Krishna appeared in Vrindavan, in Vrajabhumi, very confidential associates, his mother, his father, basically his family, coming down, descending to this world, see, to perform that lila, eternal lila, which is always being played, even now. Krishna is appearing somewhere, is always having his pastimes. It is not just a one-off pastimes, but an eternal lila, always going. Sometimes in different contexts, but essentially the same lila going, more or less, in different universes. So we are very fortunate that Mahaprabhu, and of course Krishna appeared in Bharatvash also, and Caitanya Mahaprabhu followed him, appeared in Bharatvash. So then, and chosen Navadvip, Mayapur, the large island, Yogopit, which Jagannath Das Papaji Maharaj and Bhaktivinoda Thakur confirmed the actual site. Amazing. That's a beautiful story behind that too. So now it's very carefully protected, and all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they visit these places, and it's such a not only purifying, not only sweet memories of Mahaprabhu, smaranam, remembering, but also inspirational. The golden avatar appeared in this world to reintroduce a Nama Sankirtan. The Nama Sankirtan is an eternal formula again, has no Nama Sankirtan, eternal. The holy name is eternal. But Mahaprabhu emphasized this, reintroduced the importance of Nama Sankirtan for this age. And if you read Caitanya Caritamrita, especially when Caitanya Mahaprabhu at Rath Yatra, not to speak of the Gundicha clans, how much kirtan, how much emphasis on the holy name, congregational chanting of the holy names. So everything is about chanting. Our devotional service, our preaching, everything about chanting, really. It's just manifesting differently. Even the Shastra, what we read, it's chanting. It's a recorded sound vibration. Book distribution is also chanting. Brihat Mridanga is very beautiful. Everything is about chanting. Chanting from the heart, glorifying Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the holy names of Krishna. And this is the Yuga Dharma. These words are very powerful because you can meditate. What is Yuga Dharma? You can do your research. Hundreds of slokas coming up. You can go on Vedabase and touch these topics. So the advent of Mahaprabhu has great significance. And Srila Prabhupada explains and gives warning about cautioning us not to be misled by fake avatars or fake gurus or whoever. We have to be very careful. Therefore, we have to study the Bhagavad Gita, understand Krishna's position. So when we read about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we also understand him. Just like the 6 opulences of Krishna. See, 6 opulences. See, he's got opulences. So when you see someone with these beautiful bodily limbs and transcendental appearance, extremely auspicious planetary cosmic alignment, cosmic sky, everything auspicious, and a holy name appeared, and soon Mahaprabhu appeared, the holy name appeared. And that momentum, the Sankirtan mission started. The golden age of Mahaprabhu started. We may not even realize how powerful that momentum is, because we're just developing, we're spreading the mercy. But at one point, the whole world will be chanting. It takes time. It might take, who knows, but the next 10,000 years it will be a development. So this is the special blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to purify the world and give a chance to those foolish living entities who dare to come to Kali Yuga. Because Kali Yuga is not an auspicious birth. So, in such a yuga, most living entities, they aspire for perfection, some kind of tapasya, great perfections. And the atmosphere was very sattvic, pure, all the devas descending, but all those jivas who could not make in Satya or Trecha, Dwapara, they had to take birth in Kali Yuga. So we failed. So here we are in Kali Yuga. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu is still very merciful to us, come and picks us up, giving us the holy name, a powerful formula. So if we take shelter under the lotus feet of that holy name, just like the Brajabhumi, the residents of Brajabhumi took shelter under the umbrella of Govardhan, all the anxieties disappeared. Their mind became tranquil, calm, became very attached to Krishna. They realized how much they're depending on Krishna. So similarly, if we actually take shelter of the holy name, it is just like being under that umbrella. We don't feel, at least we can face the material world with more courage. We're not getting as much affected because we're under the umbrella of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus feet. And so, but again, innocent or ignorant people who don't take the advice of the Shastras or the spiritual master or the authentic sources, they are often misled by fake representation, fake gurus, fake avatars. Even in the West, you can see they may not advertise themselves as avatars, but there are so many great, cheaters in the name of, entrepreneurs or business or anything. They call them all kind of gurus. They even call themselves gurus now. So, some kind of a motivation speakers, and people actually admire these people. Wow. Millions of followers, not to speak of the so-called celebrities and movie stars. They're like, almost like avatars for the ordinary, ignorant public or crowds. So we're not here to follow the mind of the crowds. We're here to follow the message of the authentic Shastras and the pure, unalloyed devotees of Lord Krishna. They all confirm that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Brahme Padayate. Very, very beautiful verses. And there are many, many slokas on this, but there's a couple of really beautiful ones. One day Guru, Shri Isha Bhaktan, Isha Vatarakan, Tat Prakashams Cha Tach Chaktihi, Krishna Chaitanya Samnakam. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord, and the Lord's incarnations, His plenary portions, His energies, and the primeval Lord Himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. This is in Mangala Charana. This is very straight to the point. The primeval Lord Himself, Sri Krishna Chaitanya. One day, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodita Goda Deya Pushpavantu Chitro Sando Tamo Nado. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance. Thus, wonderfully bestow benediction upon all. This is also Mangala Charana. Just very, very powerful slokas. It's just these slokas themselves complementing this particular purport here, because we need to understand and we need to establish, at least in our heart and our intellect, we need to ascertain, at least in our understanding, that Caitanya Mahaprabhu is not different from Krishna himself, and no one will be able to cheat us. So it's very, very important that we understand these things, because our whole philosophy is based on Mahaprabhu's teachings. And Caitanya Mahaprabhu teaches Srimad Bhagavatam. So he's the greatest preacher of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what he did his whole life. And culminating in a very intimate, confidential lila, which ordinary men are not eligible to understand. Just like when Krishna was here, he had his childhood pastimes, then of course in Battle of Kurukshetra and all these beautiful kind of stages of his manifestation and teachings. Krishna obviously revealed Divya Jnana, the original. He's a Chaitya Guru within us, and he's the ultimate Parama Guru. So he is the ultimate Guru. So he established knowledge. This is it. I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Para Brahman. He's the Supreme. And he established that who we are and our relationship with him. But he also exhibited his own confidential lila, which again, ordinary men may not be eligible at this point in time, because they're very confidential. So we can read about it gradually, but generally they're not difficult to understand without efficient or proper purification. We have to actually come to that point, and we can actually feel these pastimes and have a great love for Krishna's pastimes, not to speak of his devotees. And same with Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Caitanya Mahaprabhu is directly Krishna himself, and he's got his individual nature. He's manifesting this beautiful lila, and it's all around the holy names of Krishna, Nama Sankirtan, Yuga Dharma. So this is what I can say about this purport. Any comments or questions? Yes, Prabhu.
I heard in the class Prabhupada saying that Krishna has appeared in this yuga in a special way for us.
Yes, sir.
So cleared it up for me.
Yes, sir.
That Krishna has appeared just in the right form for us.
Yes, yes.
And I also heard a class just the other day. By Bhakti Rasa Reading Maharaj, he was giving an overview of the Bhagavatam. And he said one of the reasons that Maharaj Prabhu didn't kill the personification of Kali is because of the special benefit in this age. Unlike all the other ages, that you can become realized just by chanting.
Amazing.
For that reason, it's so special.
Yes. So all this, you can see the lilas are connecting to one another, because we had the, Krishna Lila and Parikshit Maharaj, and it's already visualized for these great personalities. They all just preparing Mahaprabhu's appearance gradually. Just like in the Gaudiya Lila, Madhavendra Puri was preparing things already for Ishvara Puri and all the other associates of Mahaprabhu. Even the great devas are taking birth, Haridas Thakur, Lord Brahma, all great personalities coming down gradually, establishing Mahaprabhu's, not only his position, but also preparing his lila. So thank you, Prabhu, very, very important, because when we study Gaudiya Lila, we can go back to the Shastra again, see? We can see that this is already meant to happen. So we are getting the causeless mercy of Mahaprabhu. Because we may consider ourselves very fallen, but the causeless mercy is there. Mahaprabhu is giving us, showering us with his kindness, a most merciful, kind form of Krishna, Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.